Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James. It's October 20th, 2018, which means it's day 20 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 7. And all week I've been watching the classic Universal monster movies, and today is no different with The Bride of Frankenstein. Now, this is the movie that I was most anticipated to watch all week because I have not yet seen this one. There's another couple movies on this list as well I've not seen, but this is the one that I was actually, like I said, the most anticipated to watch. And now, did it live up to what I thought when the final credit rolled upon the screen? And yes, it did. Because in another movie, The Bride of Chucky, there's a scene where Jennifer Tilly's character Tiffany is taking a bath, and she's watching this on the TV in the bathroom, and it's very powerful. That's my favorite moment in that movie, is that little short scene right before she is killed, and I just really love it because she's like really, really into this movie because she just got basically dumped by Chucky, Charles Lee Ray. So I really, really like that scene, and that's probably my favorite scene in the entire movie. But that movie got me really intrigued to see this one, but I never got to watch it. It took me years and years and years to finally watch it until today. So, but like I said, it was really good. It did live up to the expectation because it improved upon the original. It gave great character development. This is definitely Frankenstein's monsters movie. It's not about Frankenstein like it was in the first movie. This is about Frankenstein's monster. And there's a few scenes in the movie that really helped the character development, like I said, and as well as the character development of some of the side characters, like Elizabeth, which is Henry Frankenstein's wife. She is still being traumatized by the events of the first movie when the monster shows up in her room while the door was locked. She couldn't escape, and she's still seeing the monster just at random points, and at one point in the movie the monster does show up, so that's nice, and as well as proves upon Henry as well, because his old mentor shows up and basically uses his insatiable urge for the dead to steal a line from Rob Zombie there, to create a living dead girl. Oh my god. But it's basically what it is. So, and this mentor kind of, he's not a good guy, let's put it that way. He does have evil intentions, and that's what I really liked about the ending of this movie. No spoilers, but the Frankenstein's monster sees it, and I love that final moment in the movie. It's fantastic. So, but this movie also does something really good. There's two very iconic characters in this movie. You got the Frankenstein's monster and the Bride of Frankenstein, and their looks and their designs are so iconic. And I can only think of one other movie at the top of my head that does that, and that's Aliens. You got the classic xenomorph from Alien, and then they introduce a new monster, the Queen, and it's just as big, and it's just as bad, and it's just as cool looking as the original itself. So it's like, oh, that's so cool. I love it. So, man, I just can't give this movie enough praise. So I'm going to just go right into telling you what you need to know about this movie. And it's basically, like I said, it's Frankenstein's monsters movie. He survives the windmill. He kind of terrorizing the countryside. He's still killing people, but he befriends a blind man, and he starts to learn. That's one of the character developments in this movie. He starts to speak, and he's starting to kind of just learn. And he's able to do this because the blind man doesn't judge him on his looks, and he's able to just to kind of like actually just interact with someone on a human level and not be judged. And I love it. And then he ends up wanting a woman. So that's what the mentor kind of uses his Henry Frankenstein's knowledge to create a bride for the Frankenstein's monster. So, and I love the ending of this movie, like, because of the big reveal, and as well as this movie also goes into more great depth into the process of creating life from death, and It's just great. Like the set design is much better. The special effects are great, and I want to commend Boris Karloff for his acting in this movie. I thought he was good in The Mummy, but like I said, The Mummy was not as good because he just lacked presence. But now this one, Boris Karloff was just great as the Frankenstein's monster. He just felt great. It just had a great presence on screen. I just really liked his acting in this movie. You really felt for the monster. So like I said, the special effects were great. I love the models in this movie, especially the beginning, and that is my biggest flaw of this entire movie was the beginning. I wished it would just started with the windmill on fire, and that's where it started. And I think the weakest point is like this little impromptu backstory thing, or like how to get the movie rolling with Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley, the writer of Frankenstein, and how she's continuing the story of Frankenstein or whatever. I just don't like it. I just don't like that beginning. Even though it's just a small part in the whole movie, it's just at the beginning. But I wish it wouldn't have included it. It just bothers me a little bit. I kind of like, why is this needed? So, but now on to my rating. 1 being run-of-the-mill horror. 2, best watch with a group. 3, more than average horror but adds nothing new to the horror genre. 4, helps move the horror genre forward. And 5, being a horror classic. And The Bride of Frankenstein is a solid 5 horror classic. Now, I gave the same to all the previous ones as well, but this one really earned it, I think. So does Dracula, and so does Frankenstein. Invisible Man did too, but I think Bride of Frankenstein really earned the horror classic rating, in my opinion. I think it's really tied with Dracula and the original Frankenstein in terms of like really earned it. So that's really about it. Leave a comment, share, like this video. Make sure you hit the bell to stay notified when future Two-Ton Nerd videos become live. So I want to know what you think about this movie. Is your opinions match mine, or is some opinions that are different from mine? Just let me know in the comments below, because as always, my name is Max James, coming from the basement, and I'm going to go geek out.